Uh, Hello there, everybody. Okay, we're live. Okay, hello there, everybody. New channel coming at you, Prog Mean 75, where I have the music taste of a 75-year-old. That is the slogan for this new channel. Everything will be most likely streamed live and non-edited. I do not know how to edit on YouTube. I don't give a crap how to edit or any of the other crap for that matter. I feel like this would probably be the best way to do my content going forward. Just for a pure simple reason. One, I don't know how to edit, and I also feel it would be a little bit different to do something different than what everybody else does. When you edit something, that means it's kind of loses its flavor. Yeah, it's more professional, but I also feel that live albums are overdubbed. So you're getting raw, unedited content. This is me speaking my voice on matters, and you can take it or leave it. Um, I am a no holds bar person, so if I say something that you may not agree with or don't like, I'm not here to cater to your audience, your ego, your feelings, or none of that. I'm here to do the content that I want to do, but also I'm here to expose the newer bands. And right now, these are three albums I have not played in 5 years. I've heard them at least 3 to 4 times in 2019, and there's three albums I just revisited. They're all prog rock albums for the most part. Um, and they're three popular bands also. So to start off with number one, we have Leprous Pitfalls. Now, a lot of people like the old Leprous. This is probably the second album I came in listening to Leprous. I listened to the album before this. I think it's called Melina, which I think is the end of the growl like metal vocals was Melina. There's the congregation and other stuff before that. I don't own any of that. I've heard some of them. I haven't even heard the debut, Tall Poppy Syndrome, Bilateral, none of that, like all the way through. Just not a big fan of that. Just like I'm not a big fan of another band I'm gonna bring up in here is the metal growling is just not a thing for me. I don't like when music is just overly riddled with growling. Um, that's death metal. That's not prog to me at all. And I'm gonna point out some other channels that have literally bashed Leprous in some form. Rhyme signatures, notes reviews. Those are two YouTube journalists. I just feel their opinions are just horse shit. Don't listen to them. And if you don't want to listen to my channel, that's on you. I'm not here to make fucking money. I'm here to do the content, expose bands. I don't care about money. Y'all motherfuckers, you want to go over there and monetize off your fucking gang content, you go right on ahead. I'm not here to make fucking money. I'm here to expose prog rock and the stuff that I feel is underappreciated. And I feel that people are just stuck in a fucking goddamn 70s in the fucking past and they just need to get out of that damn mindset. The obscure bands from the 70s, those bands will never get brought up like Boo Boo, Crucis, Angie from France, bands like Atoll, you have Harmonium, which is a Canadian Quebec scene. I mean, they're brought up people know who Harmonium is, but they're hardly ever brought up. That's the stuff I feel like YouTubers should be um commented on in the newer stuff, and it's a crying shame. And if there is anything that's newer or posted, the only content creator I feel that is not an arrogant idiot and posts and doesn't want money and oh, please subscribe to my cotton picking YouTube channel and become a member, like, Studio Tranquility and Frog Corner. No offense against Scotland Day. I like some of his crap. Some of the freaking episodes he does on his fucking channel are just makes you want to shake and roll your head. Well, oh well. I like some stuff and I don't like some stuff. Anyhow, getting back onto Lepers with Ryan signatures and my comment. Well, we have pitfalls here. And I agree that the sound has changed, but also Einar Solberg is a once in a generation vocalist, Ryan's signature. You look like an Amish idiot with a fucking beard, no offense. And the music is very good. It's orchestral, it's symphonic, um, it's very pastoral, and it can get metalish at times. It's still chamber. Um, the old stuff, yeah, Einer was doing a lot of growls and stuff, but he also was developing his voice over time. And I feel that, the opinion of, oh, it's just an Einer band and the band's getting thrown in the background. Well, you have a once in a generation vocalist, first off, and he needs to be heard. And the band is supposed to back up this classical trained vocalist. And that's how I feel on it. Now, Ryan Signature's your little opinion doesn't mean jack squat to me. And if YouTube wants to censor this video, oh well, I don't give a flying fucking crap. I'm the new guy in town. I'm Prog Meme 75, and here's your sign. Oh well. Now on to the content. Yeah, Leprous is a very good band. I have this album. I had their follow-up. I think it was Gaphillion, and I don't own the newer one, Melodies of Atonement. I heard like a couple singles off of there, and the growls on one of the songs. I don't know if the whole album's that way or whatnot. I'm not bought the album, heard it all the way through. I'm thinking, well, maybe they went back to their old school roots. Didn't buy it. Only heard the singles. Wasn't really impressed. I may go listen to it later, and I might buy it used. But this and the Philion are really good. And it exposes Einar Solberg in a different light than the other older Leprous albums. And I actually enjoyed this with the chamber orchestra and the way Einar sings. It's very classical based, and having those stringed instruments and that choral and the choir on these songs are just spot on fantastic. For the follow-up album goes a little bit more metalish. This one a lot of people hate. I don't know why. Probably because it doesn't flow like the next band, Opeth, which they got better when they went prog, and they kind of sucked when they did growls. So bite me if you don't like. And then their new album that's coming out, one song had growls, the second single didn't really have growls, and I believe that the whole album may have growls on it, and it's an even if it is, I'm most likely not gonna buy it because I feel like the band's going backwards and backpedaling on what they said, where Michael Ackerfeld's never gonna do growls again, and here we are having an album with growls on one song, even if it is one song. I might purchase it if it's just one song down the road, but it's just the idea. I don't want growls. And if it is growls, it's gotta be a really good mix. And the only band I knew that ever done growls perfectly, they did one album. They were called Native Construct. Wish that band make another album, but they disbanded. And then you had Nobina, which that band, if I'm not mistaken, one of the members of the singers got in trouble or doing some major bad crap. So I don't remember his name. I just remember hearing about it in the past. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I have the Opus CD. I just got done listening to it a few hours ago, which it's somewhere buried in all this because I put stuff back in the crate when it's done. But yeah, the Incana, how you pronounce it. There's the English version and the Swedish version. That album, I listened to the Swedish version, and it was very good revisiting that album again 5 years later. I'm not really a big Opus fan, to be honest with you. I own a couple of their albums. I own that one and heritage. Don't own any of the others. They're just one of those bands I never really got into. I've heard all the prog rock stuff they did when they came out. Well, I think the first one was Heritage or Pale Communion, one of the two. I think it was Heritage. And their prog rock sound, and they did good. Were in my honest opinion that the one from 2019 is the best out of all the prog rock albums that don't have the growls. So I'm not really gonna comment much on that album at all because it's sung in Swedish, but I also do like that it's got that gothic feel to it while not while and still being like a heavy, hard occultic rock, but not being metal, if you know what I mean by that. It's still got the Opus sound. That's why I like it a lot, because the other Opus albums I heard that they came out, one of them maybe Sorceress, had kind of that heavy sound to it, while still while still remaining the prog rock sound. And like I said, the Incada, where I like I'm butchering the hell out of that dang name of that album title. Every Swedish person should come after me, and I'm like very fond of the Scandinavian countries as far as music goes. Like Norway and Sweden make some of the best music. Period. We're not in the '70s anymore, where UK was the dominators. It's now Norway and Sweden. It was Sweden for a while. It's now Norway. They stole all the Mellotrons and invaded England in the '80s, and the Vikings resurged out of the past, and they stole all the instruments. That's why Norway's making some of the best content it is today. And then they went underground for about a decade or two, and now all of a sudden you just hear nothing but masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece. Hmm, That's sarcasm, by the way, but I'm pretty sure you know that. To get on to the next album that I just revisited in 2019, it's a double album, Resistance by IQ. When this album first came out, I wasn't very big on it. I've heard it a couple times because the lyrical matter on it, or the lyrics in general, they're just like way too complex to understand what the album i- or the songs are about. With the title Resistance, I feel like maybe that's the overall theme of the album, is that some of the songs are tied to having something to do with the word resistance. Um, and like I said, it's a double album. It's like maybe like 100 plus minutes. That's a little over an hour and a half. And if I was to take any songs off this album, I would take off Rise, which is track 2, Stay Down, which is track 3 off disc 1, and then take maybe Perfect Space off disc 2, and you have a masterpiece. And it's very old school IQ meets the Seventh House, where they started getting their more modern metal sound. But this one actually feels it's got a lot more of that softer side and not as heavy. Or when you do have the heavy moments, they're not like for like the half the song or whatnot. It's very encased. Where I feel like The Road of Bones is a very good album, and a lot of people praise that album to death. If I had to compare the two, musically, Resistance is better. Lyrically, Road of Bones is better. Um, and that's where the dividing line between those are. And I would prefer this one over Road of Bones if I'm going to A and B these later, just because it's I will always go towards an album that's a little bit different in any band's catalog majority of the time. This has a lot more softer moments, and it doesn't feel like it's a whole on metal album where IQ developed that kind of metal sound to their sound with dark matter. And you also heard it when and during the seventh house, they started getting that heavier sound. Rhoda Bones, I feel like a lot of those songs on disc one and disc two could be left off. Whereas this album, I would honestly take 2 songs off disc 1, and I would honestly keep Perfect Space on here because I like that one, but if I had to take 2 or 3 songs off, I would take Rise, Stay Down, and then Perfect Space. So in all honesty, with Rhoda Bones, there's more songs on there I would take off because I'm just not really a big fan of them. Whereas this Resistance is a more concise album. And I'm more of a person who gravitates more towards the lyrics on an album, where a band just doesn't write just lyrics for no damn reason. There's a message to be learned. A lot of prog albums are conceptual or have to do with themes. That's why I like prog. It's not just because the music is good. It's also because one, the album covers and there's a message to be learned. Otherwise, if there's nothing to be learned and they're just random jumbled up words, I'd rather that the artists or whoever. And I don't like when singers, like when you interview some of these singers, like, oh, the lyrics don't matter, you just came and blah, 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 blah. And they don't mean nothing. And I believe that's an honest lie. That's just an excuse for the artist to come up with. There are times when those artists who do say those things in interviews are kind of serious. And examples of songs that I feel in prog rock would fit that. It doesn't matter, jumble, um, type of words. Like Frank Zappa did some stuff where it's humor in music, which is like, don't eat the yellow snow and stuff like that. That's in good fun. No offense against Frank. That's the one example. And then you have one song by my favorite band, the Flower Kings, who does the song called Chicken Bar. It's very catchy. It's just an annoying freaking song that makes no damn sense. There's not really nothing to be learned here. It's just a joyful song about a farm, a farmer on a chicken farm, something to do with it's just when you're writing lyrics from that standpoint. But other than that, yeah, I'm a lyric guy. I like lyrics and albums a lot. There's something to be learned from them, and those, like I said, those are the 3 albums I revisited from 2019, and they're very good. Yeah, it looked like I just woke up. I kind of been up like a couple hours, and I'm also, you know, with the medications I take, they do make me look like my eyes are like borderline saddlebags. Doesn't really matter. But in the beginning of the video, yeah, I can come off as a little opinionated. Now, out of these 3 albums, if I had to rate which one I like the best after revisiting the 3, it'd be this one. And here's our little mascot of the channel. Hi, everybody! That's Paplio, the seal. And what do you give this album, my little musical friend? You'll see him pop up from time to time. 5 official stars out of 5. It gets the prog seals of approval. Well, you heard that, everyone. 5 seals of approval. We have a seal here. Meme. And like I say, we'll see more of Paplia, which is from the Pokemon games. I'm a huge fan of seals, penguins, any Arctic animal in general. I love seals, penguins, baby polar bears, baby snow owls, stuff like that. But I like seals and penguins the best out of the two. But I own this little guy right here. He's got his own little personality and everything. So yeah. And for most people thinking, oh my lord, we're just having a person on a random internet talking about frog with an inanimate object. He's not inanimate to me. It's basically like a pet. Call me a ventriloquist if you'd like. It's like a pet. I live on my own. I can't have my own pets. So, and I do suffer some mental instabilities. And this is one of my best friends and how I get it by in life. So anyway, with that, that ends the video. There's no editing. There's no bullshit. If you like what you heard, you like what you heard. If you think the video's too long, well, that's up to you all. So I don't really care. This is the way I'm going to do things. Peace out. Prog meme number 75, where I had the music taste of a 75-year-old and the mascot Paplio the Blue Seal, where occasionally he will give his seal of approval on some of these albums I may be talking about. Peace and have a good one.